Are you guys tired of spending your hard-earned money just to get terrible pack odds? Well, look no further. Visit my sponsor EasyMut.com for the fastest, cheapest, and most reliable Madden 21 coins. Use code JTibbs for 5% off your purchase. Yo, what is going on, guys? JTibbs back with another video. As you guys saw in my intro, I do have a new coin sponsor. I want to thank them, obviously, for sponsoring these videos. And in order to do that, guys, I do want to do our first free coin giveaway from my coin sponsor. You guys already know how to enter, but for those who are new, I'm going to go ahead and reiterate it. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below spread, because we're going to be going over a defense that requires you to spread out a little bit, but it's well worth it in the end. Alright, so we're going to be going over this. I am in the Atlanta Falcons defensive playbook. Now we're going to go to the 4-3 wide 9. I have Aaron Donald, best defensive player in the game, and then Leonard Floyd, who's pretty fast as well. Now, I like to always go to a play like cover 3 cloud show 2, maybe even a cover 2 invert, maybe even a cover 3 cloud. But for just this video's example, we're going to go ahead and go to the press quarters. I really like the coverage out of this. Disclaimer, guys, yes, obviously, you already know with a play like this or a formation like this, you do need to have fast linebackers. You cannot make subs, obviously, or sub in, obviously, DBs, safeties in there, which kind of stinks. But again, you reap what you sow with this type of shed defense. Now, what I like to do is crash out, contain, and then for some weird reason, I'll always play underneath. Now, when you play underneath coverage, I like to go ahead and do this and make sure, like I said, on the outside, be careful with the underneath coverage because, again, you can get exposed pretty bad if you have a bad speed mismatch. Again, it's fine to shade up top, but if you're going to do that, always shade to the inside. It just helps the defense shed a little bit better. So as you guys see, I've crashed my line out. Last thing I'm going to do is blitz my linebacker and keep him in this hole. I always like to keep him one of the holes. Obviously, if they're going to run the ball, you want to keep him here because obviously you have your run support safeties right here in the box to help out. But again, let's say you just know they're passing. Just stay in one of these gaps. Now, obviously, once they snap the ball, you're going to let him run forward a little bit and then run back into coverage. And you're going to see the sheds coming pretty quickly. Now, as you guys see right there, we're going to be going underneath coverage, and my man Aaron Donald ends up coming in for the win. Now, another way I like to set this up is I like to go ahead and spread my D-line, blitz everyone, and then press until they're on the line, and then reset my defense. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to make it seem like you're blitzing, and it's going to give the impression. I always like to have two guys in the gap just because it does help out a little bit with the run, and also it gives your opponent the assumption that you're setting a little bit of heat when you're not. Now, as you guys are going to see, again, you can contain if you want. It's completely up to you. But I'd highly suggest if you're going to contain, you attach with this guy real quick so you can get off. Now, the contains aren't going to work as well. As you see, our two outside rushers cannot come in. This is a problem. So, when you go ahead and run this defense, you guys are going to see that it's best, obviously, you just crash out because it's going to be a little bit better coverage. Now, again, as you see, we're giving the impression that we're blitzing for the defense, and they're going to be under that assumption. Obviously, we pull off right there, guard what we need to, and by the time they try to make a read, we got our man Aaron Donald coming in for a sack. Actually, that was Brockers. So, let me go into instant replay and just show you kind of the concept of this defense. All right, guys, so here's the defense. As you guys see, we are going to go ahead and show it to you in slow motion. Now, obviously, once we come off that line, both of our outside guys are taking angles inside, which isn't a bad thing. Again, if you were to contain, they'd probably get caught up a little bit sooner. But you see, our quarterback doesn't have much time in the pocket. So as you see from the time we snap the ball, so 1, 2, 3, almost about 3.5 to 4 seconds, which again is a pretty decent good time for a quarterback in real life. But in Madden, a lot of reads do take a little bit longer to develop. The goal of this defense is to get a fluky shed. As you see right there, Brockers ends up slipping out. The line gets confused, and he comes off the sack. Obviously, AD is going to win his matchup almost 9 times out of 10. He's just a beast. So you guys see, I'm able to go ahead and abuse that offensive line strategy and break it down to where I'm coming in free with at least one defender. It does take a lot of pressure off my defense. As you see right there, he could have maybe made the quick read right there, but by the time that outside wheel is developing and getting open, It's just, he's not going to have time to throw it. And even if he does, it's probably going to be a throw out of sack going the other way. Now, I can't stress this enough, guys. I really do think this defense is very good. Now, a lot of the times, more often than not, I will spy one of these guys. And what the spy does is if it's a fast quarterback, I usually just leave it. But if it's someone like Teddy Bridgewater who isn't too mobile, what I'll go ahead and do is I'll send him. And I'll go ahead and try and accelerate the sheds like that. Again, you see, us sending 5 against their 5, we should have a little bit better of a matchup. But again, it's not really that big a deal. That's just kind of what I look at. Because due to the fact that if you were to spy him, you can go ahead and, if you want, blitz him. Sometimes I will blitz him. And this is going to give the defense, obviously, problems. As you guys see, we do have to cover the outside due to the fact of us blitzing that flat. If they're running bunch or trips or something like that, I would highly recommend, as we get AD's X Factor lit up, blitzing or spying or just sending someone from the opposite side. I just think it's a lot better of a decision just because you can send them a little bit quicker. And you guys see AD just goes crazy on his X Factor. So this defense is very good. It's very, very well orchestrated. And you're also able to go ahead and just really, really abuse the fact that the defense isn't going to have much time, or excuse me, the offense isn't going to have much time to react, get outside the pocket, or really think, you know, obviously it looks spread out in the middle. It's kind of hard to step up in the pocket when you got this defense coming to the outside, but also the DT's crashing in. All right, so this is the last thing I want to go over in this defense. I like to go ahead and sometimes send pressure. And what that means, obviously, is we're going to blitz everyone. So what we're going to do is spread our line, baseline, and once we blitz everyone, they will come to the line. Now, what I like to do is unbase line, but if you unbase line, he's going to back off. So you got to wait sometimes till he's fully set. But again, I like to turn this into kind of a shell look right here. A cover 2 on the right, obviously a single-sided outside quarter on the left, and they're all playing up top coverage. Now, obviously, your opponent's probably going to think you're blitzing, so they may max protect. Completely up to you. But what I like to do is I like to attract the attention of this guy, and as you guys see, you get some free pressure. Now, again, if they do censure blitzing, they may max protect. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, what we want to do is give our opponent the impression that obviously they're going to have to max protect or else this is coming in. Now, if they max protect, I like to let my user get attached to the line and then back off real quick. So attach with the lineman and then back off. Now, obviously, we probably could have turboed him right there. And that's the great thing about this defense. And the cool thing about, obviously, turboing this here is, if you want, right there, boom, you guys can go ahead and shoot up that gap. Now, that's the cool thing. I like to stand in this gap, and even with the max protect, I'll go ahead and try and turbo in and attract the attention of that running back right there. Now, obviously, it is kind of a scummy move, and I understand that. But again, like I said, the turbo isn't looked at, you know, this year as it was in the past. It is easier to stop, but again, in my opinion, it is kind of scummy. But if you could turbo rush up that A gap and get really, really good pressure, as you guys see right there, I'm able to go ahead and attract the attention of Christian McCaffrey, then you're really doing something great because you have to obviously get your opponent inside the back of their mind. Because if you start blitzing heavy and then start setting up shells like this, obviously you guys can make it look like you're blitzing super heavy, and when in reality you're not. Obviously they max protect here and they're screwed because they only put 3 routes on the field. Nothing really much is open, and obviously then they're forced to make a really, really terrible read, obviously, and that is not good for anyone. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I appreciate you guys tuning in until the very end. Also, shout out to my new coin sponsor, Easy Mutt. Go check them out. Cheapest coins guaranteed out there for Madden 21. Alright guys, JTibbs signing off. I appreciate you guys always showing love on the videos. Until next time, talk to you guys later. And as always, peace.